Thanks for sending me that schedule.
Yeah. Does he
I'm going to start right at 6. And you're going to get welcome to I'll get welcome and say lead us right into the coordination.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, perfect. I'll inside. Eli. Write down some of your best game time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, what'd you shoot?
I said, if that's not enough, I can.
106.95.
Thank
back there hear me? Okay. I know there's a certain number of people in here who are watching their watch. Want to make sure they're at home in time to see the tip-off of the Thunder Nuggets game tonight. So we're going to do our best to expedite this. Good evening, everyone. I would like to welcome you on behalf of Pond Creek Gunner Schools. I'd like to welcome you to our end of the year all sports banquet. Tonight's a special evening, a time to come together as a school, as families, and as a community to celebrate the dedication, effort, and achievements of our incredible student athletes. Over the past year, we've witnessed moments of determination, teamwork, sportsmanship, growth on and off the field, court, course, and track. Our athletes have competed with pride, represented Pond Creek Hunter Schools with class, and shown what it truly means to be part of the PCH Panther family. Tonight we honor not just the victories and milestones, but the hard work behind the scenes, the early practices, the late nights, the miles traveled on buses, and the lessons learned in life. Every athlete, coach, and supporter in this room has played a part in making this a memorable year. To our seniors, we're especially proud of you. Thank you for your leadership and for leaving a legacy that will inspire those that follow in your footsteps. And to our underclassmen, your journey is just beginning, and we can't wait to see where your commitment and passion takes you. And to our parents, families, coaches, teachers, and community members, thank you for cheering us on, lifting us up, and believing in our teams every step of the way. So tonight, let's celebrate, let's reflect on the hard work, the friendships, the growth, and the great memories made throughout this amazing year at PCH. At this time, we're going to start with the spring coronation. Elizabeth Stoll is going to come up and MC the coronation.
Welcome to the Pond Creek Hunter Spring Coronation Ceremony. Our first Queen candidate for tonight's ceremony is Miss Ruby Ayers. Ruby is the daughter of Donnie and Amber Ayers and the granddaughter of John and Donna Ayers and Dick and Deanne Morse. She is a senior at Pond Creek Hunter, where she participates in basketball and track and field. Ruby is a member of the high school student council and FFA. In her free time, she enjoys reading, sleeping, and hanging out with friends and family. After graduating from high school, Ruby plans to attend Northwestern Oklahoma State University and major in mass communications. Escorting Ruby is our first King candidate, Mr. Gabe Jones. Gabe is the son of Darren and Kayla Jones and the grandson of Glennet and Mary Jones and Bob and Jan Freeman. He is a senior at Pond Creek Hunter, where he participates in basketball and golf. His school honors include Superintendent's Honor Roll and one of this year's valedictorians. He enjoys lifting weights, playing golf, and fishing. After graduating from high school, Gabe has signed a letter of intent to attend college at East Central University in Ada, where he will play on their golf team and major in business. Our second Queen candidate for tonight's ceremony is Miss Kate Bentley. Kate is the daughter of Justin and Rochelle Bentley, the granddaughter of Dave and Sherry Bonnet, and Randy and Loretta Sispansky, and the great-granddaughter of Goldie Perkle and the late Harold Perkle. She is a senior at PCH and participates in fast-pitch softball, cheer, trap shooting, and showing livestock. Kate's honors include FFA Chapter President, Stuco Secretary, Superintendent's Honor Roll, Principal's Honor Roll, and is a member of the Oklahoma Honor Society and National Honor Society. In her spare time, Kate enjoys spending time with family and friends and reading. After graduating from high school, Kate plans to attend Northwestern Oklahoma State University, where she will major in elementary education. Escorting Kate is our second King candidate, Mr. Caden Jondro. Caden is the son of Jeff and Cindy Jondro, and the grandson of Evelyn Freck and the late Ken Freck, and the late Gary and Linda Jondro. He is a senior at PCH and participates in basketball and baseball. Caden's honors include Stuco President, Senior Class President, Superintendent's Honor Roll, and is one of this year's valedictorians. He is also a member of Willow View Global Methodist Church. In his spare time, Caden enjoys attending OSU baseball games, spending time with friends and family, and reading. After graduating from high school, Caden plans to attend Northwestern Oklahoma State University, where he will major in accounting. Our final Queen candidate in tonight's ceremony is Miss Mason Thomas. Mason is the daughter of Chris Rob and Charlena Dixon, and Lonnie and Pam Thomas. She is a senior at Concrete Hunter and participates in basketball, fast and slow pitch softball, and vocal. Mason's honors include Stuco Vice President, Senior Class Vice President, 3-time state vocalist, gifted and talented, and she is a member of 4-H, National Honor Society, the Oklahoma Student Worship Choir, High School Bible Study, and Bethel Holly Baptist Church. She enjoys watching movies, baking, FaceTiming her sister, and focusing on her concurrent classes, where she will already have completed her first 2 years of college. After graduation, Mason will attend the University of Central Oklahoma, where she plans to get a bachelor's and master's degree in nutrition. Escorting Mason is our final King candidate, Mr. Jackson Jones. Jackson is the son of Darren and Kayla Jones, and the grandson of Gwyneth and Mary Jones, and Bob and Jan Freeman. He is a senior at Concrete Hunter, where he participates in basketball and golf. In his free time, he enjoys playing golf. After graduating from high school, Jackson has signed a letter of intent to attend college at East Central University in Ada, where he will play on their golf team and major in business. Tonight's flower girl is Miss Piper Sherman. Piper is the daughter of Zach Sherman and Chelsea Sherman, and the granddaughter of Wade and Joanne Hughes, Steve Sherman, and the late Judy Sherman, and Billy Chance. She is in the 1st grade, and her favorite sport is cheer. In her free time, Piper loves to play with her friend Rosa. When Piper grows up, she plans to be a cheerleader or a teacher. Tonight's crown bearer is Eli Grisham. Eli is the son of Forrest and Lauren Beal, and the grandson of Chris and Jessica Walker, and David and Marla Yu. Eli is in the 1st grade, and his favorite sport is football. In his free time, he enjoys playing with his friend Mac and watching Panther football. When Eli grows up, he plans to be a football or baseball player. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's Concrete Hunter Spring Coronation King is Mr. Caden Jondro. And this year's Concrete Hunter Spring Coronation Queen is Miss Ruby Ayers. Please give a round of applause for our Concrete Hunter Spring Coronation King and Queen.
Okay, this time we're going to try to roll from last August to this spring, kind of in that order. So I'm going to start with cross country, and I promised, we only had one high school person run cross country. We had 16 younger kids, whether it be in junior high, middle school, or elementary school, that participated in cross country. But we had one high school girl, and I told her I wouldn't bring her up here on the stage, and I'm not going to. But I want to, Olivia Daft, I want to recognize her. She came out and ran cross country and did a great job, was training. Cross country was new to her, and then she suffered an injury, and we had to shut her down before regionals rolled around. So, but anyway, let's give her a hand. Our first presenter will be he's managing a huge T-ball game tonight, so we got to get him up here on stage. Coach Bowman.
All right, you guys, football guys, go ahead and come up here. As Coach Jones said, big T-ball game tonight against the people from up north. So we talked all week with those guys about how big of a game this is. So I think they're pretty pumped up. I know Grayson is for sure. So Grayson's got cousins and friends since we live up there that play there. That's all he's talked about the last 3 days, was playing against his cousins. So he's pretty excited.
Hey, you guys go ahead and
All right, just a little bit about our season. This was a great group of guys. I think we had ended up with 24. Good mixture of seniors, juniors, sophomore, and freshmen. We had some freshmen that played really well for us this year. We went to team camp and we had some guys that were gone, and we had some injuries, and so we had to have some young guys play quite a bit at team camp, and I don't know that they were quite ready for that. And we said, hey, get through team camp, and then we'll see. Are you guys getting them? Okay. Got them? We said, hey, get through team camp, and we'll have some time, in the season to get you guys ready, get some of these other guys back, and we'll go from there. And we get to the season, and for whatever reason and for certain circumstances, a lot of those guys, our freshmen, started week 0 against Coyle, and so I know that they were really nervous, but I was really proud of those guys and how they played.
everyone get one?
You can ask for around so we can get a picture of you, please.
Yeah, scoot back. Yeah, scoot back. Hey, come this way. Come this way. This way. This way. There you go. We ended up 7-4 this season, which by any means isn't necessarily great, but when you take a look at our schedule, it's really difficult. We play in probably the toughest district in 8-man football and maybe in the state. Laverne, Garber, they were both semifinal teams. Laverne playing the state championship. We had to go to Hollis in the first round, who ended up being a semifinal team. And then Turpin got beat by Dewar in the quarterfinals. And if you watched Dewar play this year, you knew they were pretty good. So these guys played a tough schedule, but they never shied away from anything that came their way. I think we went into every game, just wanted to compete, and they absolutely did that. So I'm extremely proud of these guys. Young guys that are coming back next year, they've been working really hard. These guys are great in the weight room. You can see, and hopefully you guys see your sons as we progress throughout the year. You see them start to change, and so it's really fun as a coach to get to see that. I'll say some quick stuff about the seniors really quick. These guys are really special to me. I appreciate them a lot. Caden came out as a sophomore, hadn't played in a while, and he did a phenomenal job as quarterback, really threw the ball well for us, and the growth that I saw from Caden as a football player and as a quarterback from the time that he came out until his last game was awesome. He was a great player. I always told him I wish he would have kept on playing because he would have been outstanding, and he really was. But man, he really progressed well, and it was good to see. So Ashton Banks, if you ever watch Ashton play, Ashton's only about, we'll say he's 5'7", and he might be, but he doesn't play like he's 5'7", 120. He's a strong runner. He's electric. You never know what's going to happen. My first year here, we were playing Garber. His cousin Ethan was playing quarterback. We were on our 15-yard line. We ran a handoff to Ashton, ended up getting stuffed. He's going down. He turns around and pitches it to Ethan. Ethan runs about an 80-yard touchdown, and Ashton gets to the sideline, and I said, please don't ever do that again. He said, we scored. So those of you familiar with football know that the last thing you want to do is pitch it back 10 yards away from your goal line. That doesn't usually end well. Unfortunately for us, the one time it ended well was Ashton doing it, so he tried it a couple more times throughout the game. Yeah. So, what? Yeah, but not like that. Let's see, who's next? Cole's over there, okay. Cole Mitchell. Cole is the most physical football player I have ever coached. When you talk about somebody that loves the physicality of football, Cole is that guy. He's a 1970s, 1980s fullback that wears the cowboy collar and all of that. I mean, that's him to a T. Anytime that we needed a yard, I think everybody in the stadium knew that Cole was getting the ball. There was no secret about that. And the good thing for us was more times than not, it didn't really get stopped. I don't know that there were many people in other teams that wanted to try to tackle him head up. So there's a few games I think he carried the ball about 30 times. And the other thing about that is, obviously looking at Cole, they're going to hit him in the legs. So his legs took a beating, and he worked through that a lot. I was really proud of him as well. He a great football player and just a tremendous athlete. Brody Sherman came back out this year after not playing for a couple of years, and I was so glad that Brody came out. He was extremely coachable. He was a joy to be around. Kept things pretty lighthearted too. You know, he was always good for a few jokes, and so he's another one. You know, we wish we'd had him all 4 years and the time that I was here, but you know, just thankful for the time that I did have with him because he really played well this year. So, and then Landon Heath is our last senior. Landon came out late this year as well. You know, after not playing last year and came back out this year, and it was a good thing he did because he played a lot for us at guard and really played well on the line. You know, just really improved throughout the year, and by the last game we played, you know, he was a great lineman for us. So all of these seniors, they have a pretty good football IQ. I could throw things at them and they picked up on it pretty quick. So it really was a tremendous joy to coach them. And all of these guys, you know, I want to thank you guys as parents for letting me coach your sons and letting all of us coaches coach them. You know, we spend a lot of time around them from August to November, and so it's always a joy. A couple of thank yous really quick before I forget. You know, I want to thank my wife for letting me coach. She spends a lot of time throughout the fall, pretty much as a single mother because I'm gone a lot. So she works hard, and if you see my 2 boys, you know that's not an easy task. So she does a great job with them. Coach Boland, Coach Davis, Coach Dreck's not here, but he helped us out last year too. Those guys are awesome. They're tremendous help. They do about anything that I ask them to do, and so even if they don't think it's a good idea, they tell me it's a good idea, so it makes me feel good. Except Coach Davis, he doesn't always do that. So, our football boosters, thank you all so much for everything that you do for our program. Football is a really expensive sport, and so these people spend a lot of time fundraising, doing a lot of things for us, and I hope you guys know you make my job so much easier, and I really appreciate that. And then a really big special thank you to Cassie Barr. Cassie's been our football booster president the last couple of years. Cole graduating, she's gonna give that up maybe, but we're gonna try to talk her out of it because she's got a son that's coming through pre-K in a few years, so she needs to stay. But
I'll
no.
appreciate all the games and cheer and you guys play.
There you go. But we really do appreciate all of the football boosters, and if you're interested in getting into that, you know, please let us know. We love to have the help. So thank you guys for that. And I'm gonna stay up here for powerlifting now. So thank you guys. Callie, and Ember, you guys can go ahead and come up as well.
Okay, pass these out.
Alright, so powerlifting, and I've said this the last couple of years, was something new to me whenever I came to Palm Creek. I'd never done it before, but I really am glad that I have. Powerlifting meets are a lot of fun to go to, especially with these guys. We get to take a lot of long road trips. If you see my Facebook posts, we usually find somewhere to eat afterwards. Wingstop or Panda Express or something. We're still trying to get sponsored by them. So if anybody knows somebody high up in there, let me know. But these guys really are a hard-working group. Got it? They're a hard-working group. We start powerlifting after football ends. Usually there's a meet in January we go to. So with that, we lift over the break. We take a week off of Christmas, but these guys are back in there the New Year's break, and they're up there at 8 o'clock, you know, and so that's not too early, but on break, that is. So these guys, they work really hard. You know, we had a good year, PRing throughout the year. We had several guys that were over 1,000 pounds. We had guys that are getting close to it, and so very proud of them. The girls, Ember, Callie, and Hallie, I talked them into going to the regional powerlifting meet at Fairview, and they did really good there. I was really proud of them. Powerlifting is a tough sport. There's a lot of little rules that you have to learn, and they did really well. So I was extremely proud of them for trying that, stepping out of their comfort zone and going to it. Those three worked extremely hard in the weight room as well. Just a little bit about some individual things that we did this year with powerlifting. Landon Peterson at our 8-man state meet. So that's every 8-man school that plays football. We have a state meet each year. And Landon Peterson finished third in the 242 class for that with a total of 1,095 total pounds. So I was really proud of Landon for that. And they place 5 at meets, and so a lot of these other guys were pretty close to that. Am I missing anybody? Anybody else place top 5 at this? Well, I know that, but anybody else?
I got 5th at Wacomas.
Oh, and then Ember got 5th at me in Wacomas. So, but like I said, these guys, PR'd and got better all year. And then Carlos was the state champion in the 275 class, and I think he was 1,395 at the 8-man meet. So he actually is state champion. That's pretty cool. So there's an 8-man meet, and then there's an everybody meet. So we lived against schools up to 2A, so like schools like Chisholm and some of those big schools in this area and all over the state. And Carlos qualified for that meet, the state meet there, and he got 4th, and he lifted 1,345 total pounds there. So that was pretty good. I was proud of him. So once again, thank you guys for sitting here and listening to me talk, and I appreciate everything that you guys do for me. Getting to coach at Pawn Creek is awesome. If you guys see my son Grayson running around, he loves being a Panther, and so I echo that sentiment. These guys that I get to work with as far as coaches are second to none. I mean, they're amazing guys, some of my best friends in the world, and I really appreciate them and really appreciate all these athletes that we get to coach. We have some of the best kids in the area. I really do believe that. So thank you guys. And they wanted me to mention Carlos benched 400 pounds at the state powerlifting meet. So he's only 15 pounds below what I can bench.
Good luck, Coach Bowen. You can just come up north.
Coach Hendricks?
You're a fast pitch softball player. Come on. For me, sitting down trying to figure out what to write up here, this seems like a whole 2 years ago to me, just being last fall. So trying to remember some of this stuff was difficult for me, so you guys might have to help me out. First of all, I'd like to thank the parents, grandparents, families of all these players for all the support that you had showed throughout the year. All the food between after games, we never had to worry about whether we were going to get fed or our bodies nourished. It's nice not to have to worry about that as a coach. Thank you to all the coaches, administration, for all your support and encouragement all year. I'll echo what Coach Bowman said about coaches. We can talk to each other and go in and share some of our thoughts, and it's nice to bounce that off of people. And there's some great friends. Coach Kerr for helping me this year. Coach Kerr started his new job as a principal, so that's kind of why I took over the softball. But he was there as much as he could be and only missed a couple of times. Really appreciate all his help. My wife Jennifer, same as Coach Bowman said, they pretty much take care of the kids and do everything. We're never home during season, so I appreciate her. We had 3 seniors, 5 juniors, 2 sophomores, 5 freshmen. We were 9-17. Didn't start the year off very good, but we got a lot better as the year went on. Ended up having to draw Wacomas for a district, and if you guys have been following Fast Pitch at all, they're usually in the top 10 or 12 in the state, so that was a very tough draw for us. Ended up getting beat there. But we ended our year way better than we started our year. These girls showed lots of improvement. Really appreciated all their hard work. The three seniors I'll mention, Kate Bentley, Kelby Briscoe, and Mason Thomas. You guys step forward. Give these girls a round of applause, please. This is kind of my first run of coaching softball, so with baseball, we always worry about what we're going to wear and uniform and all that stuff, and I have some input. I don't have any input with these girls. They take care of it. I just show up and we coach, and they are all dressed correctly most of the time. Maybe a belt or two here that are the wrong color, but these girls took care of that stuff and were great leaders for us, so we appreciate that. A few awards that we have. I don't have her medal because I gave it to her in the fall because I would have lost it. Hadley Marriott was Skelter Conference all-conference player. That's a big honor. That's 22 players out of our conference, and she was one of those. An honorable mention was Destiny Ortiz and Kelby Briscoe. And then the next awards are awards that the girls vote on. I handed them out ballots in the fall, and I'm glad I did because I almost lost them, so I almost had to do it again, but I'm glad I didn't. Most valuable player for the team is Kelby Briscoe. An offensive MVP, Hadley Marriott. Defensive MVP, Destiny Ortiz. And the best teammate award, and I don't know if this is 100% correct, but probably 4 years in a row, Mason Thomas. We're going to miss the three seniors, and we look forward to what's coming back. These girls are working hard, and I think the future is bright. We're going upward from here. Thank you, girls. You want me to? Okay. We'll go ahead and do baseball as well. You guys come up. It's a little more familiar. All my thank yous are pretty much the same. I will say that we sold banners this year to try to raise some money for the baseball program, and I appreciate anybody that purchased a banner or made a donation to our program. I really appreciate those. Coach Davis, I appreciate him. He coached junior high baseball for us, does a great job. A lot of coaches around here now are coaching both junior high and high school, and I really don't know how they do it or how they build a program, because when you play junior high and high school the same night, the junior high guys kind of get the shaft. They only play like an hour and then you move on. So to be able to send the junior high somewhere while we're playing at home or vice versa, that really helps build our program. He does a great job with that, so I appreciate that. Baseball, 4 seniors, 6 juniors, 5 sophomores, 1 freshman. Hopefully that's correct. We went 9-18, kind of similar to softball. Started off slow and ended the year really well. These guys did something that hasn't been done since 2019, and we won a district championship. We've got some hardware on the wall. That was really nice. And the OSSA, for congratulations, sent us to Cameron, Oklahoma, which is, we stayed in Fort Smith, Arkansas. That's how far away it was. But it was really good for these guys to go over there and see that and participate in a regional. Got to see a really good ball game between Cameron and Sterling, 2 state tournament worthy teams. So it was really nice for us, I think, a good experience for us to go over there and see that, and see what a regional is all about. And I think we're ready to make that next step. Seniors, we had Cole Mitchell. These are my 4 seniors. I don't know if I wrote you down. Yeah. Brody Sherman, Jay Serrera, Caden Jondro. Those 4 guys. 2 of those guys have been with me for 4 years. Cole and Caden have been with me all 4 years. Brody, is Jace here? Brody and Jace came back out this year after missing a year or two. Really appreciate those guys. These guys were our leaders this year and did a good job for us. Skelter All Conference player, I don't know if you know this, if I even told you this, Cole Mitchell. That case is open, so be careful. Honorable mention for Skelter was Blaine Taft, Ethan Gibson, and Brady Sherman. Kind of the same thing. We're going to miss these seniors, but I really think that things are trending upward. We've got a good core of guys that are younger and coming up, and I think things are just going to get better and better for us. Appreciate you guys.
Coach Davis, girls basketball. So first I'd like to thank all the parents throughout the season. Countless times I can think of going to the locker room after a game and there was food already waiting. And that's a really big deal, and it's something that here at Plum Creek that we're extremely thankful for, because you don't have that everywhere. You don't have parents that are always invested. So thank you to the parents who did that. Another thank you I want to give is to the custodians that clean our gym. I can't stress to you guys how much work they do after a basketball game to get it ready for the next one. So a really big thank you to them. Another thank you is my wife. We had our first child in November, right before basketball season. She missed 2 basketball games the entire season. So really big thank you to her and being incredibly supportive for everything that I coach. So our season, the girls told me not to just, I'm just gonna tell you the truth. They didn't want me to lie. We were 7-19, okay? Not the season we wanted, but it's the season we had. They played 8 ranked teams, 2 of which went on to play in the state tournament. So it was a tough schedule. But one thing I will say about these girls is they are incredibly strong, and they're always willing to persevere. I'll give you an example. We were at a stretch of our season where we had lost 8 games in a row, and we're going into the Skelter Conference tournament, and we're the 6th seed in the tournament, playing Drummond, who's the 3 seed. Drummond, 3 seed, should have won it, right? I mean, I think everyone was expecting it. Plum Creek's on 8 straight losses. We go into the game, and we get a 20-point lead. And I think I can speak for the girls at halftime. We were like, what the heck's going on? Which, it was awesome. And it was a situation that they weren't used to. Which is why going into the 4th quarter, we blew the lead. But what happened with these girls was they could have easily ducked their heads. They could have easily said, okay, they're gonna beat us, it's gonna be 9 in a row. That's not what happened. They came back at the end of the 4th quarter, and Violet Cargo, right, sinks a 3 and saves the day, and we beat 3 seed Drummond. So that's just a little bit. To me, it says a lot about these girls and the season in general. It was a season of, a lot of failure, but moments of where you can see it's coming into place. Will the seniors step forward? I can't say enough about these 3 girls. Incredibly hardworking. You don't ever have to worry about if they're going to be at practice, if they're going to be working hard, because they are. Reagan McReynolds, all season played with an injury, right? I mean, you never probably knew that, but all season, she had that going on. But she never said anything, she never complained, she was always there, she was always practicing, and she played as hard as she could. Mason Thomas, there's a reason she wins the teammate award every year, because she is the best teammate, and she is the best leader. She's gonna be there for everything, she's gonna make sure that everyone knows where they're supposed to be, and she's gonna make sure that everybody's on the same page. Ruby Ayers, I was really honest with Ruby in the locker room after districts, because last year whenever I started assisting for the girls, we talked a lot to Ruby about playing defense and how that was something that she really needed to work on. And I think, in my opinion, that Ruby became one of the best defenders on our team by the end of the season, because she worked her butt off.
And that's something that she was really good at. She was always in the gym. She was always shooting the 3-point shot, and she was always willing to work. So give another round of applause. So I do have some awards to give out tonight. These are season awards. So our top point getter, assist getter, rebounder. So our first award is for the top point scorer on the season. This individual scored 192 points for a total of 7.4 points a game, and that was Ruby Ayers. Our second award goes for the top assist getter, so the best passer, essentially, on the season. She had 95 total assists, and that goes to Alana Banks. This one may come as a surprise to some of you, but to us on the team, not really, because she was the scrappiest on the team. So the top rebounder, even though she's one of the shortest girls, with 159 on the season, so that's an average of 6.1 a game, is Alana Banks. And then the last award on the season that I'm going to give out is the Best Teammate Award. You can probably guess who it is, Mason Thomas. So the conference awards that we have, I don't have any certificates for them, but honorable mention is Alana Banks, Hallie Jones, Reagan McReynolds, Ruby Ayers, and Mason Thomas received honorable mention from the Skelter Conference. And then we did have one that received all conference, so that is that 12, Coach Jones? So only 12 players plus the MVP make all conference. And that is Ember Seek. Incredibly excited for these girls next year. I know they're really excited and they're looking forward to what they can do for Coach White, and I know they're going to be incredibly hard for her, so thank you.
Okay, boys basketball, I want to get my thank yous out of the way up front. Thank you to the Board of Education for always supporting all athletics, basketball here. Our administration, I appreciate the, did I ask you to come up? All right. Administration, they allow our kids to get in the gym and get better, and I'm grateful for that, and I know our players are grateful for that. We greatly appreciate that. The other coaches on staff, I want to reiterate what Coach Bowman said. Just great coaching staff, great guys, willing to help. The teachers, the custodians, as Coach Davis said, they do a great job getting the gym prepared for ball games, and then after the ball games, cleaning up. Thank you. Thank you. Managers, Hunter and Anthony here? No? I have the two best managers in the state. You can ask these guys, and they'll admit, yes. And if you're a parent of the basketball boys, you know you don't have to wash any practice gear. You don't have to wash any game uniforms because Hunter and Anthony wash it all, and I don't wash it. They take care of it all for me, and they have my clipboards and everything. Water bottles, they're just fabulous. And the best thing about it is I have them back for one more year. So if you see Hunter and Anthony, pat them on the back. Our video girls, Aubrey Rucker, Aubrey Davis, Lexi Gleason, did a great job videoing for us all year. Thank you. The scorebook, Cindy Jondro, she sat by me and probably heard things, and I probably hit her on the leg a time or two and whatnot. But thank you, Miss Jondro, for keeping the book. Wonderful. To all the parents, I'm grateful. Thank you for letting me coach your young men. I really am. I get to do what I love to do with young men that I love to do it. And thank you for allowing me to coach your sons. To the parents, thanks for all the food, the team dinners, the snacks, what I call the yummy goodness that they would bring in little snack bags lunch on the bus to ball games, thank you. You'll never know how much we appreciate that. To Coach Davis, my assistant, 2 years ago, I went to him, I said, I need an assistant, and he didn't hesitate. He said, yeah, I'm all in. He's an incredible young coach. He has an incredible hunger and passion for basketball. He brings contagious energy to our program. He has a fire that pushes everyone around him, myself included, to be better. But what I really believe sets Dakota apart is his attention to detail. I turned over all our blobs to Coach Davis. Those are baseline out of bounds plays. And I didn't have to worry about them. He ran them all. And you can ask these young men, he ran some incredible blobs, didn't he, this year? So, outstanding. Whether it was that or his breaking down video, practice plans, or just pulling one of these guys aside, patting them on the back, giving them a little extra coaching. He really does the things that helps make a difference. He's more than a coach to me. He's a leader, a mentor. And he's the kind of guy that every program hopes they have, and we're fortunate enough to have. So thank you, Dakota. To my family, to Gabe and Jack, it's hard when you're coach's sons, coach's daughter. You're going to catch the brunt of dad's anger. It doesn't matter who makes the mistake. You know, you're going to hear from it. They handled it well. I know how hard it is. I love you. Appreciate you. My daughter Hallie, who I didn't coach, but I found out that she likes to commentate on scoring, and wonderful. And last, or not last, but maybe most importantly, my wife Kayla, who, if you're a coach's wife or if you coach, you know that during your season, your spouse sometimes takes a back burner. She's a great rock for me, and she allows me to come home and vent and say, you know, we didn't shoot the three very well tonight, or we didn't, you know, get the ball inside very well tonight. She'll listen, and she's usually the voice of reason for me. So thank you, I love you. My most important thank you is to these young men right here. And I told them this the day we got beat out in the area tournament. The hardest thing for me is the day after, because I can no longer be around them, and because I love being around them, and I love doing what I do, and most importantly, thank you to you guys, because you came to practice every day, and you allowed me to do what I love, and more importantly than the basketball or the X's and O's, to me, is the bond, the friendship that I have with these young men. We had a young man come back to school today, Tucker Van Dyke. Some of you will know the name. He was a 12 graduate, went to West Point, graduated, and it just filled my heart with joy to see him today. But for me, the older I've gotten, it's really less about the wins and losses and more about the personal relationships that I have with these guys. And I tell all my players all the time, and I know I'm not easy to play for, but when they graduate, I want them to know that I gave them everything that I had. And I hope these seniors know that and know that I'll do anything for them. So at this time, you guys that are seniors, step forward. So what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seniors. That's rare in a school this size. Because you can only play 5 basketball players at a time. Other sports, you can play 8, 9, 11. But basketball, you can only play 5. So to get 7 young men to stick it out through their senior year says a lot about their grit and their determination and their parents and their love for their teammates and their brothers. And so I have a great affinity for this group of young men. I've coached them ever since they were in 5th and 6th grade. Will be sorely missed. You've left your legacy here at Pond Creek Hunter as a great class. And just like Tucker came back, my wish, and I told these guys in the locker room after we got beat out, what will make me happier than anything is when they come back to school and they come by and see me, or I get an invitation to their wedding or their graduation or a picture of their firstborn child. that will mean a bunch to me. Cole Mitchell, played in junior high, played up until I think his junior year, and then didn't play. And then he came back out this year. I was happy when he came back out. Cole brings an energy, and a toughness, and a grit to practice. He was great in practice because he was one of those guys that was going to stand in there and take a charge every day in practice and make some of these guys mad that come flying in there. But I just loved him for it, and I was really happy that he came back out this year. Thank you. Ashton Banks, a high energy guy, competitive guy. If you were in a fight with somebody, you would want to take Ashton with you because he's going to be right there through thick and thin. Just loved him. Like I said, high energy guy. Jackson. Jackson blossomed this year and became an incredible defender. Unlike I didn't anticipate him becoming such a good defender. Is very, very athletic. He would tell me all the time, he said, Dad, I really don't like practice, but I love the games. Caden Jondro, Mason Thomas is the teammate of the century. So is Caden Jondro. As good. Yeah. As fine a young man as I've coached in 31 years. Came to practice every day. Wasn't going to get to play. He knew it. But he came to practice every day and guarded somebody. If we needed scout team ran, offense ran, he did it. You know, if I said, guys, the locker room looks terrible, I'd go in there and it wouldn't be a freshman vacuuming, it'd be Caden Jondro vacuuming. And so I was at the awards banquet last night and I see all this scholarship money that he received. No shocker to me. High character guy. Thank you. Titus Westrope, you know, you guys saw Titus play in the past. I mean, he's a dynamic athlete, a high flyer, a guy that can run the floor. And we started the season, and you know, we were going to run a lot of high-low, and then unfortunately we go to a scrimmage and he gets hurt. And there's his ACL, but he wants to play. Comes back, and if you were there, you saw he tore the other ACL. And Titus handled it better than I probably. Because one of the first things he said to me was, God has a plan for me. And I believe he trusted that. And God does have a plan for Titus. And I'm sure it will be a grand plan. And he's going to still try to play basketball. I hated that the injury occurred. But I love the way that he handled it. And that's credit to him and to his parents and his faith. I wish you nothing but the best. Caden Teft. Went over 1,000 points this season, and if you've seen him, he's one of those special shooters, a guy that really light it up, especially when he gets going, he gets on fire. If you were at Sealing the night that we played in the district championship, how many did you make that night? 6 or 7? Yeah, he got rolling and was knocking it down. Great shooter, great kid, loves basketball, would do anything I asked him to do. Just great young man. And then Gabe, my point guard, and you guys that know basketball, an extension of the coach. So he got it worse than anybody. Because your point guard, you can ask Mr. Sheever, your point guard, there's two people that can't have a bad practice or can't have a bad game. And that's your point guard and the coach. Okay? And so he got to feel all my wrath. And he handled it well, and I appreciate that leadership. All right, you seniors, let's give them a round of applause. Now, everybody else step forward. Okay, and so these are our underclassmen. Micah and Blaine started, and Kyson played some, but these guys will be. So these guys you see out there on the floor all the time next year. And I know you're looking up and thinking, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, you only have to have 5 to play. I mean, Hoosiers, that's all you have to have. But I fully expect to be just as good as we were last year. And I know you're thinking, well, we're losing 7 guys. These guys are going to make the commitment to work hard. We've got some freshmen coming up, and we're going to work hard at it. Just some things about the team. Our team changed when Titus got hurt. We had to play a different way. Couldn't play as fast. The one thing that we did, we hung our hat on playing defense. We only allowed 43 points a game, and that's pretty good in this day and age where people want to run up and down the floor. We also changed the way that we played. We didn't play as fast. It wasn't as sexy as what you see on the NBA where they fly down the floor and shoot the first three. These guys understood what shot selection was, and they worked the basketball. And to their credit, they did that. They were coachable. And you can watch basketball on TV, and you can see those people that are coachable and those that aren't. And these young men were coachable because I said, we got to throw it into the big 6'7" guy. And we had several seniors out there who, like everybody, have egos, but to their credit, they did that because they wanted to win. And it says a lot about their character. Their schedule was as tough as anybody. I put their schedule against anybody in Class A. We were 20-10. I could have scheduled easy, and we could have won 27 or 28 games, but I could care less about that. I wanted to have them ready when the playoffs came. We played in the Weed Capital Tournament, and I thought they competed valiantly in every timeout. The biggest thing about these guys is not their basketball ability or whatnot. It's their character. I would go anywhere with them. I think the world of them. They're high character individuals. I felt like they represented Pond Creek Hunter, the school, the community, the parents, myself, with character and class, night in and night out. Just a joy to be around. We had some individual honors that I'll get to quickly. Skelter All-Conference, Michael Westrope, Jackson Jones, Caden Teff. Give them a hand. CTV Sports All-Area Team, which only 15 players make it. Michael Westrope made that. And then the Enid Newson Eagle All-Area Team, Michael Westrope also made that. In closing, I just want to say I've had an affinity for basketball ever since I was about 5 years old, and it was a joy for me to coach these young men. And like I said, it wasn't so much about the basketball and the X's and O's, and competing. It was just, and I love that. But more importantly, it was about the relationships that I have with them, and I know that it will extend on not through just this year, but hopefully later in life. So I love you guys. Mrs. Hensey, are you here? Oh, yes. Cheerleading.
In for Miss Hensey. Her child had a baseball game and one child had a baseball game and one child had a softball game, so she couldn't be here tonight, and I know that breaks her heart because she loves you girls. And so I'm stepping in for her, but don't worry, she left me a script to read. She's very organized. And she does an excellent job, and I don't know if the community knows how much time and effort that it takes to be a cheerleader at Pond Creek Hunter, because Mrs. Hensey has high expectations. The girls come to school how many days a week? Huh? 2 to 3 days a week at 6:30 a.m. And they practice. And if they mess around or if they're late, they run. Okay? So she takes it very serious, and they do an excellent job, and they represent our school and travel all across the state of Oklahoma. Late nights, bad weather, whatever needs to be done, they're out there giving the team their best support. And I'm super proud of you. Let's give them a round of applause. We have made lots of memories. I will cherish the constant laughs and jokes the Suburban brings, watching you guys on the sidelines progress through the year, and just watching you grow as young ladies. I've had the privilege to coach you all as middle school, and am beyond blessed to coach you in high school. You are always up for whatever idea I have to work together. And she's really good at her ideas, by the way. I love that no matter if you are best of friends outside of the cheer team or not, when we are all together, you treat each other with respect and are kind to one another. And I'm proud of each and every one of you. Love all you girlies, and I look forward to next year's adventure. This year, I have chosen to award each cheerleader in an area that I think you have excelled in this year. Okay? Number 1, Riley Haskins. Step forward, and you're getting I'm going to read this a little bit. You're receiving the award for best tumbling. Keep working hard. I know you're going to learn even more skills and get more confident in your tumbling skills. So she gets Outstanding Tumbler. Peyton, you're receiving, step forward, Peyton. You're receiving the Best Attitude Award. Peyton, you always remain positive and do what's asked, whether you want to do it or not. Thank you. You're getting Best Attitude Award. Okay. Next is Kinley Evening. You're receiving the Best Smile Award. I love to see your smile on the sidelines. It is contagious. So you're getting Best Smile. Hadley Marriott, you're receiving the crowd favorite. Have you ever seen her cheer? She smiles and makes eye contact. She's great. You're receiving the crowd favorite award. I'm so proud of you as a cheerleader. I constantly have people from the stands commenting on your cheering and dancing. So you're getting crowd favorite. Okay, Allie Cooley. You're receiving the Quick Learner Award. Although Allie likes to tell herself and others that she can't learn some things, she quickly has done it. So you're getting the quickest learner. She just tried to do it again. Quickest learner. Good job. Next is Summer Holden. You're receiving the Outstanding Jumper Award. You have such pretty jumps. You're continuing to get better each year, which is true. I'm not going to make you do one right now, okay? But they are very great. They're great and high. So you are receiving the Outstanding Jumps Award. Okay, Kate. She's our senior, and we're losing her, and she's been a great leader. This year during cheerleading tryouts, she stepped in, and we didn't have to pay anybody to train the little girls the cheer and the dances that they did for tryouts, and she did an excellent job. You should charge for that. Anyway, so she stepped in, and she's been a great leader, leading the girls really well. Kate, this is from Miss Hensley. You're receiving the Leadership Award. I'm so sad to have missed your senior year, but slightly glad because I would not make it through this without tears like I am as I'm writing it. You'll need someone to step up. When I needed someone to step up, you did it without me asking. You were always there in any capacity that I needed you to be for our team. I'm extremely proud of who you have become, the leader you have been for me and this team. For the last couple of years especially, and the woman you have become. You have been by my side, helping me to learn new cheers and dances to teach others. Planning out our pep rallies, and if you have never been to one, you should try. And always having been up for whatever I throw at you. The girls and I will miss you very much and wish you the best of luck in college. You're getting the Leadership Award. And then the girls got her a little gift, and Miss Lindsay, so they got you a gift, your senior gift, so you're gonna stay out there. It's flowers and gift cards and stuff for her to use for college, so we're excited. Thank you so much.
before I start with slow pitch, as Miss Hensley couldn't be here, Mr. Hensley couldn't be here, so I'm gonna do his trap shooting things for him. So if you were a trap shooter, come up here on stage. I'm not sure all of them are here, but I'll read off the names he has here. I think it looks like a lot of them are here. Kate Bentley, Cole Mitchell, Kelby Briscoe, Jonathan Alexander, Landon Heath, Brady Sherman, Ruby Ayers, Cooper Kelso, Quinn Baker, Ethan Stevens, Carlos Robinson, Brady Sherman, Morgan Mitchell, and Dalton Davenant. That's what he wanted to be read. He said, thanks to the Chisholm Trail Pheasant Forever chapter for funding our program. They built a trap range and donated all of the shells and clay so our students could practice with no cost to them or the school. Special thanks to Mr. Childress and to Steve Shriver for helping coach and for the use of their guns. Again, a little bit about these guys. That they placed 8th at regionals, qualified for state and got beat in the first round in Boise City. That ended up winning the state championship, I guess. They competed in OYE's 40 clays and trap shooting. And like I said, I don't know how they did there. Good day, but again, Mr. Hensley said he would apologize for not being able to be here. Again, he really enjoyed these guys. I know we talk about trap shooting all the time, so I know he really enjoys these guys. And again, they've been really successful for the last 4 or 5 years. It's because there's a good group of them up here standing up on stage. So again, appreciate you guys, and thank you guys for trap shooting. Thank you guys. All right, slow pitch girls, please come forward. Again, thank yous a lot of saying, a lot of thank yous to the parents. Again, I know numerous coaches have talked about this, the great thing about being a girls coach too, like when you go to games, you don't have to worry about drinks, food, anything like that. It's taken care of. So again, we appreciate that all the time for all those games. So pretty thank you parents for doing that. I need to thank the other coaches too. Again, taking on the new roles of principal, there were a time or two that I couldn't be at a practice or things like that, especially during the junior high hour. And these guys stepped up and helped me and did what I asked, and I thank you guys for helping me out during the springtime. This group was 10 and 15 this year. Again, not a great year, but not a terrible year. Okay, again, played a tough schedule. But the thing about this group is, I really did enjoy this group, and I've talked about this to numerous coaches. I could be wrong, but I don't think there was a lot of drama, and that's a good thing. Coaching girls, if you don't have that, and again, I never regretted, or not regretted. I never did enjoy being at practice and being around these guys, going to games, things like that. Now there were a few innings I didn't like being around them sometimes, but no, I really enjoyed coaching this group of girls. That they're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun to be around. Again, great girls. At this time, I want I have 2 seniors, Kelby and Mason, step forward. These girls have been talked about numerous in the last 48 hours and all their awards and everything they've been talked about, and I'm going to echo a lot of those sentiments. These 2 girls are unbelievable leaders. Why you don't have a lot of drama and why you get along and are great people is because you have 2 girls like this that are leading your team. Again, these girls are pretty special to me. They mean a lot to me. Talked about not having to worry about what you're wearing, anything like that. Again, like Coach Hendrick said, I didn't know what we were wearing half the time. Half the time, I didn't know any time what we were wearing and what they showed up in. It's because these girls took care of it. Again, unbelievable leaders. Again, that just says a lot about their character, and I don't think you guys are going to have to worry about these 2 in 10 years looking and seeing that they're not successful. They're going to be successful in whatever they do, and I really enjoy these girls. I've enjoyed them since I've coached them in junior high softball. I'm really going to miss you guys, and I appreciate everything you guys have done for the softball program, for our school. And again, you guys know how I feel about you. I said a lot of this stuff at senior night. I love you guys, and I really appreciate everything you guys do, so thank you guys. team awards, I do have a few awards, and some of these have just came out within the last 2 or 3 days, and some they might not even know about. So I'm gonna go ahead and read those. I don't have like certificates. Conference, I know like basketball gets conference medals. Slow pitch softball conference is not like the Skelter conference. It's just a conference that a lot of us area coaches started just 2 years ago, so we don't, it's just kind of an award, so I don't have anything to give to them. But the North Central All-Conference team, Hadley Marriott stepped forward. She was on part of that All-Conference team, and Kelby and Destiny were both honorable mention on that team. So congratulations. The next couple awards are just for seniors only. We had a district meeting last week. Again, we're 2A, we're class 2A in slow pitch softball. We're District 1, so we're all the basically Northwest Oklahoma schools. And Kelby and Mason both were made all district in that league the other day. They don't know about that, so congratulations. And in the All Northwest, again, just a senior team, the All Northwest slow pitch team, Kelby Briscoe was named honorable mention. Now I'm going to give our team awards, and again, I always do this every year, and I always feel this is a special award because this isn't coming from me. This is voted on by their teammates, and so again, they're the ones that are around them at practice every day, or on the bus rides, and in the dugouts with them every day. So these girls, if the award, this is coming from their own teammates, so this should mean a lot more than if it was coming from me. So at this time, I have a few awards here. Our slow pitch offensive player this year, player of the year, goes to Hadley Marriott. Our defensive player of the year, we actually had a tie, so why not give it to both of them? They both deserve it. Our defensive players of the year are Destiny Ortiz and Kelby Briscoe. I don't even know if I should give this award, most valuable teammate. No, I'm just kidding. Again, everybody said it, but I really think, honestly, every year I've given this 4 years, I think Mason Thomas has won the award. Thought about just not giving it to her out of spite, but no, I'm not going to do that. So, but no, again, our most valuable teammate, Mason Thomas. We also had our most valuable players is overall voted on by the girls. Our most valuable player of the year is Kelby Briscoe. I do have one other award. Okay, I need to give this out because she deserves some recognition. Our most valuable scorekeeper, Jesslyn Dillon. Yes, we've talked about this as coaches. Like if you watch our games and stuff, the scoreboard's always right. It's always right. If you watch, other sports, baseball games, sometimes the balls and the strikes are wrong or the outs are wrong. Not with Jesslyn. She did a great job, and she volunteers and takes it on. She'll have the scoreboard thing ready to go when we get ready to play. So don't have to worry about that stuff. So I really appreciate Jesslyn doing that stuff. Thank you, Jess. Okay. Again. Great group of girls. Wouldn't have it away. I enjoyed every second of it, being around these girls. And I said I love you guys. And you underclassmen got big shoes to fill with these two leaving. And again, we're going to expect great things from you guys next year. So thank you guys.
Coach Bowe.
Can the girls and boys track team come up here, please? Since I coach both of them, I'm just going to do this all together. I want to start with my thank yous. I want to start with some parent thank yous first. Bonnie McReynolds, I want to thank her for all of her help throughout the year, helping our throwers, and also with helping me with, having drinks and things like that. water, Gatorade. Amber and Donnie Ayers, they always brought about every meet. I think we had water, fruit, grapes, Gatorade, every track meet. Didn't have to worry about any of that stuff. Also, Coach Bowman came out and helped us quite a bit, whenever he could. He also came to us with the state and helped us there at the state track meet. And, without all those guys, it would be hard to get everything done. Let's see, I wanna start with, the girls. We had 2 seniors this year, Ruby and Reagan. 1 junior, Callie Chisholm. 1 sophomore, Ember Seek. 3 freshmen, Alana, Kennedy, and Hadley. Our numbers wasn't great, but our effort and time was they did a great job. I always tell these guys every year, if track was easy, we'd have about 20 people out here, and it's not. I mean, a lot of people aren't just gonna go for fun, go run around the track and run, 6 400s or whatever, just for fun. But these guys came out, and these girls, I was really proud of them. We had 3 girls that came out and did, that were softball and track that did both, and that's harder to do because you're trying to go to practice at both times. We had lots of times where we had to have someone come pick them up from a track meet and take them to a softball game, and that was Ember, Callie, and Hadley. And I really appreciate them coming out. We had to talk some of the Callie and Hadley to come out so we could have some relays that we could run this year, or we wasn't gonna be able to do that. But I was really proud of all the girls that came out. And before I get into the state stuff, I wanted to talk about my 2 seniors. I wanna talk about Ruby. This one, Ruby was probably, and I say this, and I don't say it in jest, I mean it. She's probably one of the hardest working track kids I've ever had, and I've been doing it for 26 years now. She works harder than anyone that I've had. She's always at practice. I wouldn't say never complains, but close to it. I mean, she's been with me for all 4 years. We were really disappointed this year when she didn't quite make state. She got really close, she improved every year. One of the things we talked about is, sometimes, for whatever reason, we get stuck with her events that she runs are probably the 2 hardest events for girls, individuals. She runs the 200 and 400, and she just didn't quite get there this year, but it wasn't from lack of effort, and she's gonna be missed, obviously, and I really, really appreciate you, Ruby. Give Ruby a hand. I was gonna get emotional talking about her, but because she does mean a lot to me, and she is a really hard worker, and I appreciate her. Reagan's our other senior. I've coached her for 4 years. She has an outstanding career. She had an outstanding career this year. I'm going to go into her accomplishments this year. She was the regional shot puts champion at Cherokee this year with a PR of 35 foot 3 inches, and I wanted to give her a round for that. She also qualified for state in the discus with a PR of 115, and how many inches? I forgot. 115 and change. And she qualified for state in the disc as well, as for state. She placed 3rd in the state, at the state track meet shot, and she also placed 6th in the state in discus, and she was the only one that we had no with. She was an Oklahoma Coach Association All-Star member team, and she is going to be continuing her career at Northwestern with a scholarship in throwing shot discs, and I wanna give her a huge hand. And lastly, you might be, and if I'm wrong, you can correct me. You qualified for state all 4 years? I thought you did. So she qualified for state as a freshman all the way up every year. And that's a huge deal, so I wanna give her a hand for that. All right, boys wise, I had, let's see, we had 6 boys? Yeah, 6 boys. We had 1 senior, 1 junior, 2 sophomores, 2 freshmen. Cole was one of the ones that ran track and did baseball, and just like the girls, you know, he had to go to practice, had to go track, then baseball. He had to go run track meets. We had to, and then try to take him places to go play baseball games, and it's hard to do both, but it's also very rewarding, and he did a great job for us this year. We also had several guys that did a great job for us this year. Carlos threw the shot. I was really proud of him. He got better and better every track meet. Came really close to qualifying for state. Kyson Davis came out for track this year. Did a great job for us. He qualified as one of our relay members on the 400 and 800 relay. So I want to give him a hand for that. Thomas C. He's been with me since he's a freshman. He was also one of the members on our track team last year that went to state, and he also was again on the relays on the 400 and 800 relay also that made it to state. Cole Chavez was another one that was, again, I already talked about him doing both. He was the other member of the other 400 and 800 relay, and he also qualified for state. Let's see, Ashton, we'll talk about Ashton a little bit here. And Ashton's our lone senior. First of all, he's done a heck of a job this year. He qualified in 4 events at state, which is really hard to do. He qualified in both relays, the 100 and the 200. So I want to give him a huge chance for that. He's one of those guys that sometimes you have to do things or talk him into it, because I know he wasn't a big fan of the 200 this year, but I made him do it. And he PR'd almost every track meet, and he qualified in state for state in that. He was also our anchor leg on our 2 relays. And at state, I know he was disappointed in how we did individually in some of his events, but I was going to talk a little bit about the 100, because I was looking back on results. This year's Class A Boys 100, we had out of the top 8 times, we had 4 people that was in the 10 seconds time frame, which hardly ever happens at Class A. Ashton ran an 11.2 at 100 at state in the prelims, which is normally, that's going to make it any other year, and it didn't even, was 9th, I think, this year. And he PR'd in the 100 by a lot, but when you have 4 guys running 10.8 or 10.9, that was pretty hard to crack the top 8 this year. Same way in the 200, he ran a 23 flat, but if you weren't in the 22s or under this year, the 200, you weren't going to qualify in the top 8. Again, both our relays, our 400 relay definitely PR'd, didn't make it to Saturday. 800 relay, we didn't run our best, but I was really, really proud of these guys. Also, I need to talk about Kennedy. She qualified this year in the shot for state as a freshman, which is really hard to do, and I want to give her a hand. Jimber Seek also qualified in the shot, which I was really proud of as well. She was 1 place away from getting on the medal stand, so they did a great job. And then lastly, I just wanted to say, we just got done with state last weekend, and it's really, really hard to be successful in track if you don't work at it. And we're going to miss our 3 3 seniors, and I hope these guys come back out next year and we gain a few more people, because track is a really, really great sport, and it makes you, again, it's just like any sport, but it also makes you, if you don't put in the work, it definitely shows pretty quickly. At every track meet, these guys either improved, threw a little bit further, ran a little faster each meet, and it paid off in the end. So I wanted to give them one more hand. Thank you, guys. And I think that's all I got. And Mr. Jones is next.
Thanks, guys.
I have a couple awards to present for Mrs. Shaw, who couldn't be here tonight. Is Emma Haskin here? And Jesselyn Dillon, she placed first in bocce ball. If you'd come forward, Jesselyn. Next presenter is Mrs. Jones.
Good evening. Could I have the girls golf team come up? While they come up, I'll do my quick thank yous, of course, to my husband. We all know, and you heard, basketball is really his first sport that he loves. But golf, I think, is working up there towards he enjoys watching the girls and how the boys play. And my kids, my family, thank them. I know it's not hard, or I know it's very hard, not easy to always hear mom pick your swing or brag about your course management, but they do a good job on that, listening to me. Coach Pete, Boyd Peterson takes care of us every day. For golf, we travel every day to practice. We go from here at Concrete to Meadow Lake in Enid, and he always has transportation. I never have to worry about that. We load up and we go. It's fueled, so he's key in our program. And then parents of our golf program, we've had golf is not in the evening, so for parents to attend a golf tournament, they have to take off work most of the time. And they did. They were there a lot at our regional tournament. Every girl had a parent there, so that was really nice to see. Thank you. Our girls we have 5 girls. We're missing 1 tonight, but they were really dedicated this year. This summer is where I feel like they really started to work at golf. They played last year and kind of learned what golf was about, but this summer they put in some dedicated efforts on their own and with me out at Meadow Lake. They also had a new season in the fall. The OSSAA opened up a fall season, which was slow to get started in the golf world, but we did get to play in 1 tournament, and more importantly, we got some good fall practice in with grass. In the spring, we don't have grass, so in the fall, it was nice to see and nice to have some grass, and that paid off for us in the spring. So that was a lot of practice over the summer and fall, and then the spring, we're practicing some more, and they're probably like nodding over there. Practices are long and sometimes not so fun. They're boring like every other sport, but working on their short game, putting or chipping for an hour was not their favorite. Adding the 40-minute drive to and from Meadow Lake, that was sometimes a long process, but they put in some good hard work. And then you add their tournaments. So a girls' tournament is a 5 to 6 hour round. So I don't really know why they play, but they do, and they love it. And for them to play for 5 to 6 hours and you can't sub out in golf, and you don't take a break and go to the concession stand. You're out there for that amount of time in whatever weather conditions there are, and this year they were really good conditions, thankfully. But the mental endurance that takes a while to build, and it will be a skill for them that they're going to take from golf into their real lives someday that will really benefit them. That is one of the hardest things about golf, I think. Moving on to our spring season and talking about that endurance, we didn't have it, and you could see at the very beginning of the season, about 12 holes in, they were done. Their scores dropped, their heads hung, and it was hard to keep going. But by regionals, which was the first time that Palm Creek Hunter girls have ever qualified for regionals, so good job, girls. By regionals, I saw a huge difference. They played all 18 holes with grit, and they grinded it out. They really had 100% effort the whole time, and it was really fun and good to see that growth. That almost paid off in qualifying for the state tournament. We were 4 strokes away, which that's one hole. That's one girl on one hole. That is such a small amount of strokes that we missed qualifying for state. So I am so proud of their growth. They did a great job. And we did have one individual who did qualify for state. So Olivia, step forward. She shot her, at regional, she shot her best score, breaking 100, which was another huge accomplishment right there. But in doing so, she qualified for state, and that we played last week at Blanchard. Ended up running out the second day of the tournament, but she did get her first round in, where she finished right in the middle of the field, which was wonderful. That's perfect. That's right where she should be as a sophomore, and honestly, did better than the girls that came out of our Meadow Lake region. She did much better than they had done. So she had a good tournament, a good showing. I've talked a lot with the parents of these girls in the past, starting in junior high, about we'll be at state. We're gonna be there. We work, we will be there. Have I not? And they will be next year. I guarantee you they will qualify as a team to go to state. So I'm looking forward to that. Another honor they received and they don't know about. From the OSSAA, I just received that after our state tournament. They received the Distinguished Academic Award from the OSSAA. So congratulations. Each one of the girls is going to get a certificate, just recognizing that they were team qualifiers for regionals, and it shows their best tournament for the year. So Violet Cargo, I'll just call these out. I won't say their scores; they won't want me to. But Violet Cargo, her best tournament was at Perkins in Cimarron Trails. Hallie Jones, her best tournament was at Meadow Lake. We like Meadow Lake. Chloe Williams, her best tournament was also at Meadow Lake. And Olivia Daft, also at Meadow Lake. Izzy Weber was our 5th person. She is not here tonight, but she was a big help in golf. You take the top 4 scores, so out of 5 players. So we rotated those scores in and out, and she was definitely a huge contributor to our team. So thank you, girls.
High school boys golf. While they're coming up here, I want to thank all the parents. I want to reiterate what Mrs. Jones said about Coach P. He always has a vehicle ready for us. A big shout out to Michael League at Meadow Lake. If you get a chance and you feel like playing golf, go patronize Meadow Lake Golf Course. They let us practice, hit as many range balls as we want, putt, chip, play for free. And that's just incredible. We're grateful to them. If you're interested in getting your child a junior membership, it doesn't provide a cart, but I believe it's only $200. So it's a great avenue to get started into golf. So thank you to Michael and to Meadow Lake. Golf, you can say it's a team sport, and yay, let's go team, but it's really an individual sport. I mean, you're out there by yourself, and there's not a lot your teammates can do for you when you're out there playing. So it takes a lot of intestinal fortitude, it takes a lot of mental toughness, and I didn't realize this, and my wife would say, well, you know, in basketball you only have to do it for 32 minutes of a game. She said, in golf, you know, you have to do it for, you know, 18 holes, or as the boys had to do in a regional, the first round of state, play 36 holes. So has anybody ever walked 36 holes in a day? Well, it's over 30,000. It's over 30,000 steps, which is probably about 15 miles you have to walk, and you're doing it with a bag on your back. And they had to do it in the regional tournament, and then again the state tournament. So these guys really improved throughout the year, and golf's a short, like all spring sports, it's a short season from basically spring break to May. Eli and Noah and Baker, when we started, weren't breaking 100. You know, they were up there above 100, sometimes flirting with 100, but they all three at various times. Quint, when did you go under 100? Where was that at? Lake Hefner. Okay. But they all went under 100, which is a huge thing. I remember when Gabe and Jack were first starting to play golf, and we would bribe them. If you shoot under 100 today, I'll give you $50. And of course they wouldn't shoot; they'd shoot 105. And then when you finally crack 100, that's a big deal. So, and the numbers really start falling off after that. So it was a big deal. Eli at regional shot 95, and he broke 100, which was huge for us. At Noah at regional, I believe, shot 92, which was huge for us. McQuinn was not able to participate in the postseason because he's a transfer student, but he played in the regular season tournaments. To McQuinn's credit, and this says a lot about him, he went to the regional tournament and walked all 36 holes with Noah. And they went to the state tournament and walked all 36 holes, so that's a good friend right there. Gabe at the regional tournament shot 67-74 and was second. Jackson at the regional tournament shot 67-68 and was first. Gabe shot 67 at Boiling Springs and was first individually. At the state tournament, by the way, so we qualified for the state tournament as a team. And how you qualify? Thank you. First time a boys golf team has ever qualified for state here at Pond Creek Hunter. You have to be one of the top 3 schools, and they qualified for state. At state, we ended up 6th. I was very, very proud of that team-wise, finishing 6th. At state, Eli shot 95, 95, 99 at state. Very good, broke 100 every day. At state, Noah doesn't want me to read the first day, but I have to. He shot 111, 93, 95. Now don't laugh until you putted on those greens at Boiling or at Oakwood, because they're like glass. So. Gabe at state shot 76, 69, 75, and he ended up 3rd individually. Jackson at state shot 72, 77, 78, and he ended up 4th individually. Gabe and Jackson both made all-state golf. I'm very proud of that. They're a lot of fun to be around. They're kind of their own golf gang and everything. But Gabe and Jack are graduating, going on to East Central, and golf's like anything else. If you want greatness in it, you've got to work hard at it. Pat, Gabe, and Jack on the back, they play golf every day. And it doesn't matter if it's 30 degrees out, they're going to go hit balls out at Mid Lake in the cart barn with the simulator. Or if it's 105. And if you want to be great at something, you've got to do it every day. And you've got to grind at it every day. And they've done that, and I'm very proud of that. Eli, Noah, and McQuinn, I'm excited about them next year. And I think they have an opportunity to be back in the state tournament. We need to find one more player, somebody else who wants to play golf, so we can have a golf team next year. So, did I forget anything? Let's give them a big round of applause. Golfing gang. Golf, Eli wants me to say golf gang out. So this has been kind of a whirlwind. Did I forget any sports? Come on up here, archery.
If you shot this year, if you'll come up. Mrs. Jones will tell you I'm always running about 2 or 3 minutes behind on things. And Mr. Cheever likes to start meetings 2 or 3 minutes early. And I came in one day and I was so proud of myself, I was right on time. And we continue with the meeting and he's already talking. And I'm like, oh gosh, now what did I miss? So we get done and Mrs. Skaggs says, Mrs. McReynolds will do it. And I said, what? And Mr. Cheever said, archery. And I said, okay. I'm thinking, I can help. And that's not what they meant. And so this year was Palm Creek's first year with archery, and Marshall Ray really helped us a lot. Pheasants Forever, Oklahoma Department of Wildlife supported us. So to have this program, the school has to make a $1,500 initial investment. And if you know anything right now, we did not have $1,500. And Pheasants Forever stepped in and made that initial investment for us to be able to do this. My whole knowledge of archery came from watching my kids shoot 4-H, and I was a real good archery mom. I brought the cooler, and so it's been really, really different. But these guys really, Levi, you need to be up here. These guys, if you shot at all, regardless of your grade, come up. These guys really worked hard, and super, super proud of them. I knew nothing. I tried. Micah Barr came in and helped a lot, but I'm very, very proud of them and the progress they made. We were able to shoot, go to 3 shoots? Yeah. This year. We did not get our facilities ready in time to make it, to be able to qualify for state, but Jason George and his shop students came in, and Mr. Cheever let us set up in the safe room, and that became our archery practice area. And they were super flexible, which you kind of have to be with me, right? So I want to give them an award. We had several students. I'll just read their names. Several of them are middle school. Lindley Elston, Bodie Sharp, Parker Grounds. He started, he did great. And then what did you do? Broke his collarbone. And that ended that for a little bit. But we're excited for next year, hopefully. Nora Barr, Riker Barr, Tabor Betchen, Emily Evans, Emily Polisek, Aubrey Davis. Is Aubrey not here? No. Okay. You tell her she's in big trouble. Mason Thomas, Reagan McReynolds, okay, I know I have your 2. I left them in the printer. Your 3. They're in the printer. Okay, I'll get them afterwards. But I'm very, very thankful for these guys. They did a great job. I'm very proud of them. And there's a lot of senior parents here tonight. And I was really, really shaky earlier in the year, and girls were in playoffs, and it was not doing well at halftime, and I was broken. I knew it was my senior daughters. Imagine me getting emotional. It was my senior daughter's last time to play basketball ever. And I was broken, and I went to Coach Jones, and I said, Coach, you've done this before. You have 2 kids graduate, you've got 2 seniors now. How do you deal with the last? And he looked at me and he said, Mrs. McReynolds, I never really thought about it that way. He said, I've just always been thankful to be on the journey. And so I'm thankful for all of the seniors and all of the athletes here tonight who have been on this journey with us and who are representing Palm Creek Hunters so well. So I'm proud of you, and thank you, archery team.
For all the coaches and the administration, thank you for attending our sports banquet. But more importantly than that, thank you to the parents, and the grandparents, the aunts and uncles, teachers. Thank you for all your support for PCH. This is a wonderful little community that has survived and has thrived athletically. We've had good athletes, and we have good athletes right now, but it's survived and it's thrived and it's been successful because of the support of the parents and the community and the importance that we've placed upon it. We are grateful to that. This is a great place to coach. I mean, it's probably the best place to coach in the state, and we're very, very grateful. Thank you. Good night.